Welcome back, guys. We're just gonna do a quick Q&A. Real quick, my glasses, I lost them. I don't know where they are. I'm pretty sure they're in my room. I've literally looked around my room for like a while. I looked downstairs for a while too, couldn't find my glasses. I don't know what the fuck happened. Aside from that, ask away. I haven't done one of these in a while. Usually I do Q&As because for a certain reason. I guess I saw a question about the Game Show Awards. I was gonna watch the whole thing and then I watched a little bit of it and I didn't really like it. It felt like just advertising, honestly, a lot of advertising. I just watched the trailers afterwards. I am interested in two things so far. Any Quantic game I'm down because I love Detroit, and Quantic Star Wars sounds conceptually really good. And then I am looking forward to The Expanse Telltale game. I am heard a lot of great things about The Expanse. I tried to watch the show. I watched one episode, kind of didn't really get into it. So any excuse to try to delve into that episode, I've heard it's one of the best sci-fi things, like, period. So pretty good. Will there be RTS hype in the West? I don't like RTSs, so not for me. But then there's a new Dune RTS. I feel about ending of season 1 Arcane. It just sucked because it didn't wrap up stuff, because a lot of things which are obviously gonna happen in another season. That's all. Are you proud of how successful you've been since your start years ago? Nope. I never really dwell on my success. Good and bad thing. Do you still do patch rundowns? No, I don't like doing patch rundowns. I only like doing them if I really invested. I'm pretty invested right now, but I still don't like doing them that much. And the reason is because I don't really want to be educational. Really think your patch rundowns were great aside from how you play or watching your stream to learn how you play things? I agree. Like, I don't think it was bad. I just don't want to do them anymore. It's like the same reason why I don't do guides. I don't think they were bad. In fact, I think the quality of them were better than most things. But like, I just don't want to do it. Would you tell your 22-year-old self? I don't think I could tell him anything. I don't think I have lessons to bring back to my younger self. Because I feel like if I did like a butterfly effect and it didn't end up being like this future, I don't know if I could create futures that are better than this. Even in hindsight, even with like, aside from doing stuff like, yo bro, the lottery numbers are, you know, these 12 numbers. Aside from that, it'd be like a really difficult thing for me to be like, okay, to go back in time and try to fix small things that wouldn't lead me up to this point. I go back in time and tell myself a bit more healthy than they got the junk food. Yeah, I mean, sure, I could say that too, but like, I think a lot of my growth in other areas was maybe due to some part in my lack of self-confidence in my image. So it's like there's always a trade-off, right? That's how I feel. Oh yeah, maybe investing in some sort of like Ethereum or Bitcoin. That'd be it. It'd be like an investment advice, not so much a do this advice. Would you get it early, the Fortnite hype? You know how big it was? Nope. I might play a little bit more and be like, hey, use my Fortnite code, because I found out that like people who were doing it were literally making like tens of thousands from their Fortnite code. No, you know what? I wouldn't do it for just the Fortnite code. I would do it to play with people who play Fortnite. I feel like I got into the Fortnite scene really late, so I wasn't able to play with other Fortniters. Does that make sense? Do you still keep in contact with original Dignitas players? The ones I'm close to, Cutie Kiwi, the others, no, not so much. When I watched the GBI documentary, he got really emotional saying all the players. If he saw them now, he'd give them a big hug. Yeah, I mean, we went through... I consider the early part of Dignitas and like the early part of that place to be pretty Wild Westish. So if you survived back then, like, I have a lot of respect for you. You'll notice that the people who come from that era usually are very unique in some way, shape, or form. I find that like they're either people who are really used to grinding a shitload for no reward, or people who, a lot of the really crazy grinders were from back then, from season 1, 2, like, because you couldn't, like, to get far back then, you just had to grind a lot, you know? I think their work ethic is actually pretty good, like from all the way back then. I think it's harder to get on a team nowadays. Yeah, it's much different. It's completely different. Who do you think were the best NA talent back in the day? My biggest competition? I mean, Reggie was really good. I don't know. I thought Link was always super fucking good, but he's kind of someone who never really I feel like never ended up in a spot that I would have liked. Aside from that, I don't really know. I think it would have been really interesting to see me on a different team, Cutie on a different team, but like it'll always be what ifs, you know. You consider that returning to pro play, I'm not good enough. I'm not. My entire lifestyle is not competitive. Well, I can't say that. I think being a creator is a competitive aspect, but it's different. I feel like I have shifted entirely mentalities to be competitive. Like if I had to go back to a cutthroat mentality, I wouldn't even be able to do that. Not to mention that mentality it's pretty toxic when to interact with other people with that. Favorite and worst thing living in an OTV house? I think it's the same thing as living with your best friends, right? Where it's like the best thing is like the closest you have with them and kind of the family-like bond you make. And the worst thing is like you're close to them, like you're too close. So like stuff like cleanliness or things like very minor things that happen all non-stop will irk you. Opinion on feet? They're attached to legs. Well, offline trips IRL, I'll be honest, it's a lot harder to do IRL stuff in general. There's a lot more safety concerns now because in the last 2 years, like everyone who was on Twitch blew up. Like the common person knows about Twitch. It used to just be like when people talk about being like a content creator, they'd be like, oh, you do videos on YouTube. But now it's like, oh, you're on Twitch, you're a streamer. People know what that means now. And with that comes a lot of problems where it's like, I don't feel comfortable going to an event unguarded anymore. And like that sucks. I don't know what else to say about it. I feel really bad about it. Like our OTV pop-up event had like 2 or 3 people who were guards and another person who was like there as well. So it's like we were very, very careful about that event. Like there's a reason there was a back entrance that we could use to avoid the general public. Like we were very careful. The enjoy the pop-up was really cool. I don't like that people were annoyed, or not annoyed. People were disappointed they didn't see everyone. I understand that. I remember reading a lot of comments about it and I was just like, maybe next time we'll do a schedule, but I don't like doing schedules because I think people are going to be sad they don't get the people they want. And the people that are going to be, the people that they want are going to be the most popular people. We need to tell people when people are going to be there on purpose because we didn't want people to kind of crowd around a certain time slot where people have less people at certain time slots because they were less popular. Especially for our new members. That was just a decision that we ended up making, for better or worse. But I understand, you're traveling cross country 6 hours for our fan meet, you don't get to see the person you travel cross country for. And I'm like, that fucking sucks. It's just, you're here, it's 6 p.m. and it's just me. It's like, guys, I traveled from Pokey and Lily. It's like, I'm stuck with Scarra again. Fine, I'll take a picture with him. Oh God, it's just this guy. It happens, you know? I might take it to a baseball game with Bronze on rest. Yeah, but we never promised you would ever see people. That's the thing. We never promised there, like it was just a pop-up to see the pop-up, not to see specific members. It's a completely different story, you know. And also it was free. Do you have any advice on dealing with toxicity people in online games? I usually don't get affected. The thing about it is like, I don't want to say just mute them. But like, that's kind of what you have to do. I personally share advice that I end up doing. If I'm at a point where I can't deal with it anymore, it happens during one game, I'll just mute the shit out of everyone and I'll just move on with my life. Going to streaming, I mean, I think you can cultivate like it's like a thing where like, there's something you can do in the moment and there's something you can do over time. In the moment, you just ban, mute them, move on. Over time, it's like you can play with your friends a lot so you don't get put in that situation or you have a lot more people to defend you. Alternatively, like if I'm streaming and my chat's being toxic, my immediate thing is just to ban or fucking ignore them. But over time, I'll be like, okay, this isn't fucking cool. Stop doing this shit. And if I keep saying that, then people will be like, oh, he doesn't like it. Like, it's not cool. Like, eventually people understand. Think you'll be in 5 years? I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 days, dude. I've never been one to give a shit about like what's gonna happen in the far future. It's like questions like that feel so irrelevant because like COVID's only been out for 2 years, right? No one could have predicted COVID beforehand. Also, is a good bad thing for a streaming scene. It's good for some people, bad for others. I don't know if it's a net positive or negative. I just think of it as it's something that exists. Do you think Twitch is gonna try to compete for streamers? I'll be honest. If I was Twitch, I wouldn't. Because who the fuck cares? The only thing that I should put it this way. I don't think it affects anything. if there's anything I've seen, no streamer has ever been on top for 2 years on the entirety of Twitch's lifespan. No, not a single streamer ever. So with that in mind, why would they give a shit if their top streamer leaves? Because especially if they end up coming back later. I think the people who have been on top the longest, Cutie Pie was on top for a year and a half, to 2 years. Ninja was on top for a year and a half. Tfue was like, what, a year? XQC right now is like, I think a year and a half. 2 years? It's close, but history shows that top dog can always be replaced. No, let me put it, as a business standpoint, I don't think they should care. From a personal standpoint, I do feel like keeping good relationships with creators is a good thing, because I know from a perspective of certain companies, they weren't sure if content creators were going to be a long-term thing, like influencers, content creators, whatever buzzword you want to use. I don't think that a lot of people thought that they would be a long-term thing. They would be here to stay, but they're pretty much here to stay. Like, they're a very present part of like the ecosystem, so to speak. And keeping good relationships with them, I think, is a very good thing. Obviously, I'm biased in that regard. I would like companies to keep good relationships with me. But I think like if they show absolutely no, like if they didn't like give them at least a little bit of money, like reasonable amounts for like fight for them a little bit, I think it would be really bad. But I do think that there will always be new streamers to replace those ones. There's a couple that are like cream of the crop, irreplaceable, but realistically, if they all left, then there would just be people moving up, I think. Alright, maybe the next top dog. I'll be honest, I don't think I work nearly hard enough or fight really hard enough to be the #1 on any streaming platform. Or do I think I'm good enough to be? I can, like, my cap may always be like top, not even top 50. Like, it's gonna be like a top 100. And then going above top 100 to like the top 20 is probably the highest I'll hit. I don't like setting artificial barriers for myself, but that's just what I think. We do on microtransactions, whatever. Play to earn in most games nowadays, whatever. I think League does a better job than most games, sure. I don't know if they do a better job. I think League's biggest problem is the capsule system is, like, the point system into the capsule system into the fucking, like, mastery system is just very convoluted and not very, like, clear, and I don't like how they did the UI design for it. I think it's just a mess. Everything's messy. I hate it. I think you can get a lot of skins actually. Like the actual value of it is kind of nice, but like it's actually such a pain in the ass to go and be like, oh yes, I have this much blue essence and these 2 S tier shards, so I can level up my level 6 mastery to 7 mastery, and then I have 5 copies of a Mumu, so I should break down 2 of them in case I ever later when they get mastery 6 or 7. It's like, fuck off. Like, this is a pain in the ass. It's every essence important to disenchant everything. Yeah, it takes me a lot longer. Give me constellations. You want to hit your 5 constellation Annie? At 5 constellations, Annie's Q, like, what's your dazzles a little bit. It's got a different color to it. At 6 constellation, it does 100 more damage. Bitch, you better spend money. That'd be so funny. It's only the 6 constellation that like makes it like, oh, it does like 50% more damage. The Steam market system where players decide the value skins really give a ride whenever they add something like that. I don't want them to add something like that. You think the Steam system is good? Steam has a marketplace for a bunch of bullshit that just ends up being pennies. They have their own mess. All right, I gotta go, guys. I don't know if what's going on, but I have to dip. See you guys later, guys. I'll be back tomorrow or sometime later. Peace.